So about a week ago, I made a video titled Top 10 Arkham Characters, and there I listed my 10 favorite characters from the Arkham trilogy, of course Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, and Arkham Knight. And after I listed my favorite character, I would then describe why I chose that character through examples in one of the 3 games. A comment that I got at least a few times was asking me why were none of the examples of the characters that you chose from Arkham Origins. For example, I picked Barbara Gordon, and I would explain how in Arkham Knight, I liked the character development between Arkham Knight and Bruce Wayne, blah, 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 blah. But I would never cite any examples from Arkham Origins, basically, and people were asking me about that. Why was I not citing any examples from Arkham Origins? And to me, it's very simple. It's because it's not canon to the Arkhamverse. So if I'm picking a character that is my favorite in, like, Arkham Knight or Arkham City, you cannot list your favorite character in Arkham Origins because that character is inherently different because the stories are not canon. And I can explain that to you with one character. And I can explain to you why Arkham Origins is not canon to the Arkhamverse, particularly the leap between Arkham Origins and Arkham Asylum. And of course, Asylum is canon to City and Knight, but Arkham Origins is not to those 3 games. And I can explain that to you with one character, and that is Barbara Gordon. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So in Arkham Origins, Batman meets Barbara Gordon and in the GCPD building, and she looked around 14. I think that's fair to say. 13, maybe 14. She looked very, very young. And of course, when we meet her in Origins, she's like a super smarty pants already. She knows a lot about computers, but she's very young. She's clearly under the age of 18. I would estimate 13 or 14 years old. Either way, Arkham Origins takes place 5 years before Arkham Asylum. So explain to me how, in a length of 5 years, Barbara Gordon goes from a 13 to 14-year-old girl, somewhere in that range, to becoming Batgirl, to having her back broken by the Joker, of course shot and paralyzed, and becoming Oracle, a much more developed computer whiz that is a strong ally of Batman. What you have to understand is that Arkham Origins was made canon probably 2 months before Arkham Knight came out. Why did they sell Arkham Origins to be canon? Well, simple, to sell games. They sold it to sell games and to make money. Because Arkham Origins didn't sell incredibly well, and it's not a bad game. I don't want anyone to get the wrong message. I'm not saying the game's bad. I've never played it, but I've watched a playthrough of it twice. It's pretty good. The story's good. There's great boss fights in the game. And it's basically the same gameplay as in City. So if you like the City gameplay, it's good, you know? I'm not trying to send the wrong message. I'm just saying all the story is not canon. Everything you see in the story is not canon. And it was made canon to sell games leading up to the selling of Arkham Knight. And you can tell that it was made to be canon, but it's so sloppily made in terms of the story that it's not. And of course, before Arkham Knight came out, they were hyping up how, oh yeah, there's going to be references to Arkham Origins in there, so definitely buy it. The only real reference I saw, besides a few of them, was that Firefly was in the game, and that's not really a reference, it's just he's there. And I mean, there was some references, don't get me wrong, but you know what I mean. Not to mention in Arkham Knight, we got the Batgirl Dlc, and that takes place in between Arkham Origins and Arkham Asylum. Before Arkham Asylum for sure, because of course, in Arkham Asylum, by the time we get to there, Oracle is already Oracle. You know, Batgirl's already Oracle, and she's already kind of commanding things from behind the scenes. So that takes place 5 years after, and of course she's a grown woman by then, and based off Arkham Origins, she would be like 18 at that point. But anyway, so let's just say for simplicity's sake that Arkham Origins takes place in the year 2010. So that means before the year 2015, 5 years after, Barbara Gordon would have to go from looking like a young teenage girl to being Batgirl. And in between that time, shortly thereafter, the Batgirl DLC takes place. And I imagine it's not at 4 years and 11 months, you know, it's probably somewhere in the middle, 2-3 years later. After that point, Barbara Gordon will have to be crippled at some point, and in the flashbacks to the Killing Joke in Arkham Knight, she looked like a grown woman, not 16 or 18 or anything like that. She looked like she was 25, 26. She basically just looked like she did in the regular game as Oracle, who I would estimate to be around 30, except just not in a wheelchair. She could walk. So guys, at the end of the day, one of the series is not canon. Either the Arkham trilogy is not canon, or Arkham Origins isn't canon. I would like to think that Arkham Origins is not canon. There are so many continuity errors we could look at beyond Batgirl. I just simply don't have enough time to talk about them. That's just an obvious one to mention. We could also look at Robins. So in between Arkham Origins and Arkham Asylum, there would have to be Robins, not just one Robin, because Nightwing already exists at the time of Arkham Asylum. We'd have to look at probably Tim Drake already exists, so that means Jason Todd's already dead. So that means that between Arkham Origins and Arkham Asylum, Batman essentially went through 3 Robins, and that means the whole Red Hood storyline already happened. So at which point does Batman, get all those Robins? Because Tim Drake is the Robin of Batman in Arkham Asylum, if I'm not mistaken. So then you're looking at 3 Robins coming in between a 5-year period, because in Arkham Origins, as far as we know, he does not have any. There's no indication that he has any Robins at that point, because again, he's still so young in his career. He's only been Batman for 2 years, I do believe. So guys, this is just something, commentary I was thinking about when I was getting comments of why did you not mention anything in Arkham Origins. I just don't consider it to be canon, and I could be wrong. I mean, maybe it is, maybe I'm missing something, but to me it's just unrealistic that it is. It's not impossible, it's just unrealistic. And also, not only the character models and the way the characters are presented in terms of their age, but also just the timeline of having 3-4 Robins in a length of 5 years, or having all these events that happen in the comics take place in a span of 5 years. It just doesn't seem realistic to me. So if you disagree, feel free to put it in the comment section below. Other than that, I'm standing firm, and I believe I will still stand firm unless someone really presents a coherent argument that I'm wrong, which I really don't see that happening. I've thought through it a little bit, and I do think that it's hard to prove that like, if you just look at Barbara Gordon alone, it's hard to make sense of how the story works. And it's pretty obvious that Warner Brothers Montreal and Warner Brothers in a whole just did this to make a lot of money off Origins before Night came out. Let me know your thoughts on this commentary. If you enjoyed, you can feel free to hit the like button. My name's Slcmof, and we'll see you later.